Welcome back, fellow movers. In a recent video I talked about how not to fall over your hands and using your fingers to prevent this. Perhaps even more difficult though is preventing to fall the other way from a handstand. And this is what today's videos will be all about. So today I will discuss technical cues as well as drills to help you perform correctional maneuvers using your hands to prevent you from falling backwards in a handstand using your hand heels. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room here. What the f is a hand heel? It's not a word, it's what I use to refer to the lower part of your palm, and using it is quite important in handstands. When we are upside down on our hands, there are two ways of transferring weight over to our hand heels. One is to slightly bend our elbows and fall a bit forwards in our shoulders. This method is not the most efficient because it will tire you out fast, but it can be useful for correcting large imbalances. You can use this technique for smaller imbalances as well. However, if you only so slightly bend your elbows and slightly fall forwards in your shoulders, it will be much more efficient in correcting small imbalances that happen throughout your handstands. In fact, just turning your elbow pits outwards while thinking that you lift up your fingers is very likely to do the job, and is what I would recommend in the beginning. Which also reminds me that thinking that you lift up your fingers will also help in transferring weight to your hand heels. Now the second way is much more efficient, much more accurate, but requires you to already possess a form cue that I consider rather intermediate, which is inwards rotation of shoulders. If you have an elevated shoulder position with inwards rotation, it means that you can outwards rotate your shoulders, which is the same as turning your elbow pits outwards. And simply doing this will transfer more weight over to your hand heels. So if you already have control over your shoulders, you're able to both elevate and inwards rotate your shoulder. You use this in order to prevent the need of bending elbows or falling forwards in your shoulders in order to correct this backward falling. And this will make your balancing much more efficient, and you will basically just be working with shoulder rotation and finger movement in order to perform all of these small corrections. And just to further emphasize this, like I said, in order to perform corrections this way, you need to already have an inwards rotated shoulder position. And the easiest way of think of inwards rotation is to think that your elbow pits in a handstand should be facing each other and should not be facing outwards. And rotating your shoulders so that your elbow pits point towards each other in a handstand means you're having inwards rotation. The feeling of performing both of these corrections are, however, similar. And the main thing you need to think about when doing these drills that I'm about to introduce is transferring weight to your hand heel. Now, facing the wall, instead of using our feet to get out from the wall, we try to transfer weight to our hand heels in order to push ourselves out from the wall using the techniques that we previously discussed. And this can also be done for repetitions, and you can try to push yourself back into the wall using your fingers. So you sort of get a two-sided drill where you practice both using your fingers and your hand heels to push in and out from the wall. This can also be done in the back against the wall variation. Instead of using your feet to get out from the wall, use your fingers to get out from the wall and then push back in using the backside of your palm. So in addition to isolating these correctional maneuvers like this, you can also try to enter a balanced handstand and focus on using both your fingers and your hand heels to keep balance continuously instead of going back and forth into the wall. So I recommend using both the drills where you push in and out from the wall to isolate the correctional maneuvers, and also to practice continuous balancing so that you can apply this into your handstands. So that was more or less it for today. Remember to check out my app, the Movement Trybe, if you want a structured program to follow. Handstand 2 is perfect if you're just starting to learn how to balance the handstand, and the goal of this program is to learn a 10-second freestanding handstand, focusing on learning to balance, and as well as some beginner to intermediate form cues that is important. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you'd like and give me a like. See you guys next time.